What is going on, everybody? Jorge Aquino coming to you live and direct. This is Tormenting Tarmac, is the podcast where the enthusiast never dies. Date of recording, I believe, is December the 9th. Yeah, so that means we got, shoot, man, get your Christmas shopping done, baby. 2 weeks left to go till Christmas. 3 more weeks until 2025 is over with and done with. Goodness gracious. I hope you've all had a great year. I'm trying to have a good year as we finish it up. My guest tonight has had an exceptional year. Um, and that's why she's on here. But you know what? Actually, let me take that back. My guest, even if she had a crap year, she'd still be on the podcast because she's a friend of the podcast. She's actually one of my very good friends, and whatnot. And, sometimes we've said this. I think we're like your favorite team's favorite team. Is that
Mhm.
fair to say?
I think that's fair to say.
I think
I
that's
like
fair to
that.
say.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So there you go.
Good call on that one.
Thank you. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen. Um, my guest this evening is a fantastic photographer, both in digital as well as in film. She is, to me, one of the more creative individuals that I know. She has exceptional car taste. She has exceptional taste in really all facets of life. It's the one and only Kolbi Napier, the Colbay,
Hi.
right here on
Hello,
TT. My
hello.
friend, happy holidays to you, dude. How are you?
Thank you. Happy holidays. I'm doing good. Been busy. I'm glad we can sit and catch up because I feel like we have a ton to go over. So it has been a year, let's say.
It's been tough. It's been tough to go ahead and get crack you down. So I need people to understand the BTS of what happens when I'm coordinating these podcasts because this is, people will be like, I've had friends tell me, it's like, yeah, man, you get so many guests on and stuff like that. You really crank them out. And I'm like, you know what? I do.
You
But if
haven't,
you only knew the amount of phone calls, text messages, and DMs that it takes to go ahead and get some people to go ahead and
for
get
sure.
cornered. And
Yeah.
Kolb's is like one of the trickiest ones, which is so funny because Kolb's and I think it's fair to say, like people, again, BTS, Kolb's and I, we're close.
Mhm.
We become close,
Like this
but
one.
it is real tough. It's tougher for me to get a hold of her than it is for her to get a hold of me. Now, granted, I've usually got my phone and I'm not doing half of the
Mhm.
shenanigans that you are and whatnot, which is totally fine. But like for us to have coordinated to go ahead and have a podcast
Oh
coordinated
yeah.
for this evening, and mind you, with I think I only asked you last week or maybe
I'd say maybe a week, 2 weeks ago,
2 weeks
something.
ago, right
Yeah, I
around
think two.
Thanksgiving. I think I
I
asked you
think
right
so. Yeah,
around
it's especially
Thanksgiving.
2 weeks ago. And I
Yeah.
was like, yes, full send. You have my attention.
Okay,
Let's
cool.
go.
Which so like it's tough. It's tough
It
to go ahead
is.
and get on this girl's radar, but it is always a treat and a half when we get a chance to go ahead and sit down virtually. For as close as Colby and I are, every one of our podcasts has always been virtually. We never get a chance to do the one in person. It's
No, not
really
yet.
infuriating. Um, actually, let's start this off really quickly. Are
Mhm.
you coming down for Scottsdale Car Week?
I would like to. That's a little too far out for me to plan because you know how spontaneous and last minute I am.
I need people. The funny
Yeah.
thing is, she says that it's too far out ahead, but realistically, it's like 6 weeks.
Mhm.
So that's like it's crazy. It's crazy for you to be like it's too far out, and I'm like that's okay. It's next month, but I
I
respect.
know. Like, dang it. I would honestly really like to. I went,
Yeah,
I think 1 or 2 years ago
two
when I
years.
seen
Yeah,
you guys. Yeah, 2 years
yeah,
ago. When I shot with you guys with the
yeah.
Targa.
Yeah, shout
Yeah.
out to Alex. Shout out to Alex
Yeah.
Feast, of course, Tapastarga. I just recently dropped a set on Tormenting Dark. Yeah, it's so funny. I take a lot of inspiration from my friends on how to handle social media and
Mhm.
whatnot. Some things bomb massively. I've told you this. Like some
Okay.
things just bomb. And then when I don't expect something to go ahead and go off, and when I mean go off, I'm not talking like viral, like, or anything like that, but like in terms of like everybody on my feed saw it and
Mhm.
everybody in my feed that could
Fun
possibly
stuff.
liked it. It pops
Mhm.
off, right?
Fun stuff. Yeah.
It does. And so I take inspiration from you. I take inspiration from my friend Kayla, from
Mhm.
a ton of people, the dudes and dudettes. And I dropped a set not too long ago that it was a picture that you were so kind to go ahead and take of me that I
Yeah.
feel like you killed right? And it's me with the Targa and
Mhm.
also the current curly hairs that I've got going on right now, which I need to chop off and whatever. But I was like, you know what? I kind of want to make it a little bit different. I don't want it to just be that picture. And so
Mhm.
my mom had sent me some pictures of me from like age 13 to like 18 and
Love it.
whatnot. I was like, I need to drop this entire set
Yes.
along with this picture, and just people need to go ahead and see the visual of what it was like in the early to mid 2000s with me and whatnot. So your picture being the one that was the highlight of that. But then like there's like a picture of me in my marching band uniform.
Mhm.
Uh, there's
Heck
a
yeah.
picture, yeah, there's a picture of me like in jazz band.
Mhm.
There's a picture of me with my curly cues, but when I was like 14 or 15, like it's
Mhm.
a nice little spread.
Progression of it.
It's
Yeah.
a
The
progression of like
growth. It's
2004 to
growth.
like 2025. It was very funny.
Awesome.
And somehow, some way, that picture did really, really well. I tend to think that it really had to do with the picture that was the opener, which was yours, and whatnot, because you made me look incredible. And I appreciate you for not making me look like shit in that picture. Um, but I just need to go ahead and put that out there. So there's a lot to catch up on. You just talked about like, the last time we were here, we did the show in
Mhm.
March, and now we're here all the way in December.
Yeah.
Um, you've gone okay, serious question. How many
Mhm.
times have you gone back and forth from Florida to Cali back to Florida
Living
this year alone?
wise.
No,
Oh,
no,
this.
not living
I was
wise.
like
I'm talking about
living.
like you
Yes.
hit LA, came back, and then you were in
Ooh.
and you were in SoCal again.
So I just driving or flying.
Both.
Okay. Oh Lord. Okay, so January went out, I flew, and then I was back in Florida for a bit, drove out there
Yep.
in April, and then honestly, between April to August was like when I was quote unquote living in California. Um, but there was a lot of flights, I think probably two or three from Florida, but I was always on the back, like between East Coast and West Coast.
Yeah.
I think I have so far 38 flights this year from what I've counted.
30, 38 flights is
And
absolute insanity.
that's from March to now. So
That's crazy. Okay. So how are the points? Are the points okay? Are they doing good? Do you
yeah,
have access to them Amex
I
miles,
don't
sis?
even, I should really jump on that.
You really should. This
I
is the
really should jump.
one time that
I've
you
thought
absolutely
about it too,
should.
and I'm like, why don't I have like any card or like point system like with any flight? You would think I did, right?
At this rate, you're like, come on, we got to
Yes,
step it up. Capital One,
we do.
American Express,
No, seriously,
something.
something. I need to get on it. I've thought about it too, and I was like, literally the last flight, and I was like, what have I been doing?
Dude, you
It's
would have a free flight. You would have a free flight by now with as
You're like,
many flights
yeah,
as you've taken.
maybe.
Yeah.
I
It's
don't know.
it's 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 unreal. So, what have you really been doing? A lot of it has actually the entirety of it has really all been work, right? So the
Yes, a
entire
lot of
time that
work.
you were there from let's call it from April to August,
Mm,
let's call it like an extended stay in
exactly.
SoCal, right? And whatnot. Like the last time that you were on, you had done some cool stuff with RM Sotheby's,
Mhm.
with the Testarossa that they were selling at the Sotheby's auction and during the spring. Those videos were amazing.
Thank
You did
you.
you did some cool videos for one of the dealerships that's now opened up in Scottsdale
Mhm.
and whatnot, but they were based in SoCal. I'm forgetting their name right now, but it'll come back to me later. But like what was the main reasoning for basically, let's call it an elongated stay in Southern California? What were you up to?
So pretty much, I'm trying to think. Again, everybody, I've been, between Florida and California. I feel like the last year and a half, 2 years, I moved out
I
there, I
mean,
moved
to
back
be
quite a couple
fair,
times.
even when we started our friendship, it's fair to say that you were in California already for a while.
California.
So should we call it
Yeah.
really the last 3 years you've been going really back and forth between the
Yeah.
two states? Yeah.
So I would say like I came back to Miami. I did the 6 month period, just kind of like try it out. Was in a relationship at the time that also obviously had ended. But that was cool enough to kind of get my feet into Miami and just be like, okay, do I kind of like it? I do. I could see this as home base. I had moved back to my family home for a little bit, and then by the time, just stacked up, pay some debt off, and do what I got to do, and be the responsible, young adult that I am. And then And
My AirPod just fell out. Please keep going. I'm
yeah,
dead.
you're
Go.
good, you're good. And so from there, I had the opportunity to move back out to California. And obviously, like I don't know. I mean, most of the time I was in a relationship. I was like, you know what, this would be a different take on it, different view, different mindset. I have made friends that are now considered family. So just, I feel a little bit more comfortable trying it. Yeah, I had the job opportunity to move back and I was like, you know what, we're going to full send it. Found a place, kind of like the first time around, but I gave myself a little bit more patience and
Yeah.
actually diligently looked through what I needed to, finding a place and stuff as well. And so I joined Sparq and the Sparq team. So Sparq is like an AI diagnostic tool, plugs into your car. So I kind of jumped on board with those guys and was helping with events, um, logistics, and kind of just everybody was wearing the same hat and running around doing everything that we could. But it was a really fun time. Let's see, gosh, the Avengers. But yeah, so that's kind of what took me back out to California.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, can we, you know what? I'm not going to go ahead and go anywhere again without talking a little bit about Sparq because
Mhm.
I was at the LA Auto Show. Um, and when I tell you, Colby, that they literally were
Mhm.
all
Okay.
over the LA Convention Center. Like I remember talking, shout out to my girl Callie Maldovan, who was at the LA Auto Show with me. We recorded, funny enough, we recorded inside of her G80 M3 in
Nice.
the
Mhm.
underground section. It was actually kind of sick. We went ahead
That's
and
cool.
she turned on the the lights on the top of her car and whatnot, and people were looking at us like we were crazy. And I'm like, yeah, we are. We're hilarious.
It's okay.
Whatnot.
That's
And like
awesome.
the level of marketing and the level of like just interest that there
Mhm.
was in Spark, they took up a whole hall,
Yeah.
a
Oh,
whole
they
hall.
killed it.
They killed
The
it.
right
They
thing.
had
Yeah.
this insane, and they had all these cars there. They had like all these Fast and Furious cars, the Peterson Lentham and SLR McLaren, which I was like obviously geeking about. They had these F1 cars. They had a Bugatti EB110. They had everything, dude. I was like, yo, where did y'all get did you guys just print money? Like this is crazy. And shout out to them. But like everywhere around the convention center, it's like join Sparq, join Sparq, join Sparq.
Mhm.
And I was like really impressed by that. So you've gotten a chance to go ahead and get to work with them a little bit and whatnot, and you refer to them as an AI diagnostic tool and whatnot. But you being someone who's always, doing some level of marketing, whether or not it's for yourself, whether it's for other brands and whatnot, what have you gotten a chance to kind of learn from them and kind of be able to add for yourself to go ahead and continue to grow and whatnot? Because they're really killing it.
They're killing it. It's a big community, honestly, and kind of watching them from when I started. So I started with them in April. I mean, they started at OC Cars and Coffee. I think they did LA Auto Show last year as like their kickoff, but I was obviously a little late
Yeah.
here on joining the team there. But so pretty much, I mean, they've been at Cars and Coffee every weekend. They took over like Fuel Fest. I got to experience my first Fuel Fest with them, which was awesome.
Oh, nice.
Um,
Fuel Fest was just here in Phoenix this past weekend, actually.
Yeah, so it was honestly like that was a really great time. I went to the Panoma, California location there. I think
Mhm.
where they hold it. Fun time. That was awesome. But they
Pomona?
basically,
Yeah.
yeah, so they basically took that over. And then actually, so I was able to attend SEMA for the first time this year, and they took over SEMA. Like it was actually really awesome. Like there every corner there was something with Sparq or Sparq bags going around. Like it was insane. So I think within the community and kind of what they've grown and like the founder Daniel, he's a very personable person as well, like great guy. So it's kind of cool seeing your friends and like just colleagues and people that you worked with kind of being able to grow and like what's the word and kind of start a foundation within, especially the AI, break the ground within AI, especially
Yeah,
within
sure.
the
For
automotive industry.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's kind of I don't know, it's cool to have been a part of it. And again, with SEMA, I was able to kind of do more of the media aspect with them. So I've been doing a lot of the talking videos. So I did a lot of video work with them, which was awesome.
We'll be doing talking videos.
I know,
I
crazy.
wonder,
Who
I
would have
wonder who,
thought?
Wonder who gave her that idea.
I know,
I
right?
wonder
Who would have thought that?
wonder who pushed her to be doing this
Hmm.
for the last 2 years. I don't know. I don't
Hmm.
Whoever it wants must be a real smart dude.
Props to you. Thank you.
I said nothing. I said nothing. Just saying, not like I haven't been telling you that for 2.5 years, but I'm glad that you
No,
finally
seriously.
took my advice, and
And I
now
was
you're
like,
getting
oh,
paid for it. Now you're getting paid for it,
I
huh?
am. Thank
Look at that.
you.
Look at how that worked out.
I
Yeah.
know, right? It's crazy.
Anybody has any inquiries at Tormenting Tarmac on Instagram, shoot up my DMs. Happy to give you ideas that I can't facilitate on my own, but I know that you guys can, and Kolbi Napier can as well. God damn it. I'm so happy. So you did like these short interviews. You talked with like a variety of different people. You were talking with, industry leaders. You were talking with influencers. You were talking with automotive YouTubers. Anybody in particular that, and they were all short form videos. Obviously, they were like about
Yeah.
45 seconds, maybe a minute long and whatnot. And real street style, like when you're going ahead and on the street corner asking people questions and stuff like that, which is obviously kind of the cool thing to do right now in a good way. And you did an exceptional job. I was really, really excited and really happy for you. Anybody in particular that you talked at SEMA in those little interviews that was that somebody whether or not you were wanting to go ahead and talk to for a long time or really surprised you? Anybody in particular?
I feel like the DD video went really well, and actually they're
Mm.
really good. He actually really caught me off guard, which was funny. So I'm still getting used to like just the improv, and like he got me very well, which was fun. Damon, I was
Yeah.
interviewing him, and we were at the grid, the skid grid or the drift grid there, and he had his headphones in, and he was like, "Oh, hold on a minute," and it completely caught me off guard. So I was like, again, still being a little new to this, I was like, uh, we roll in here, and he just killed video great. It was awesome, but
Yeah.
obviously very DDE. So that was really cool to interview him, and like I've been around them, seen him a couple times, and just within being in California and the industry and stuff, it was cool to actually like have a good conversation with them, and we talked about Sparq and his views on it, and yeah, no, I think that was a really good one. So
No, for sure. I'm proud of you, dude.
mm,
I'm proud of you. And you say that the improv you're still getting used to, but you've done this podcast 4 or 5 times now. And you got the improv down because you we well, but maybe that has to do with you and I being able to go ahead and play off one another
yeah.
really relatively easily and whatnot. Obviously, you're
Mm.
talking with people who you don't always get a chance to go ahead and talk to, but I that just tells me that you need to do TT more in order to go ahead and improve on your improv skills. So that way for when you do more short-term videos, you already know how to improv because you've done this so many times. Obviously.
Obviously,
Um,
duh.
duh.
Love it.
Just, you know. For people who are wondering behind the scenes, I did tell Colby once. Was one I don't know if you
Mhm.
remember this. We talked about this about a year and a half ago. I was like, yo, Coles, what if you like were my co-host? Like genuinely. And you were like,
We did talk about this. We did talk
you
about it.
remember that? And and
I
and
remember this. Yeah.
we talked about it. And it ended up not be it logistically it was going to be a nightmare.
Yeah.
It was
I was like, it sounds great, and I would absolutely love to. But yeah,
yeah,
I think logistically, it was like both of us, obviously.
it
Yeah, like,
just doesn't
yeah.
work because like, especially now that you're like in Florida again and whatnot. Had you
Mhm.
been in LA,
Maybe a little different. Yeah.
a little bit different because the time frame or at least
Time zone and
the time during the summer is the exact same time, and then even right now you would only be like an hour behind, and we could
yeah.
have made it work. But like during the summer, Arizona and Florida, we're 3 hours apart. Like
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, okay, I'm ready to go at 7:30. It's 10:30 in Florida. You're ready to go to bed. Like that shit ain't gonna work. And then we even threw it out. We were like, what if we went ahead and did like a quarterly thing and whatnot, which is really what we do anyway. So at
Yeah.
the end of the day, it just ended up being it's like, okay, Colb's is just going and coming on beginning of the year and at the end of the year,
And then in the year, yeah,
somewhere in
we'll
between and
cover
whatnot. So it's like,
cover
okay, I guess we're
everything
just
within the year.
covering within everything within a 6 to 7 month period, and I guess call it a day and whatnot. But like, so that has been a discussion that has been thrown around in the past, and it was kind of hilarious. to think that we could actually thought like we that more so me to think I could try and make that
But I'm
work
glad you
was
asked. I mean,
yeah,
I was like, honestly, like this would be really fun and really cool to do. And again, if I was more in the same time zone or like close enough,
yeah.
1000% would have full sent it.
Yeah, no. So, anyways, that's for people out there. That's how Kolb's and Papa Tarmac were tight, and everything. So,
Mhm.
but that was a really cool thing. Anything at particular at SEMA, not having to do with the interviews and stuff like that, because obviously you were there all 7 days, right?
Yes. Oh
Um,
yeah.
so you experiencing that for the first time. Obviously, you've done things like the car show. Excuse me, like Car Week, and you've done Arizona Car Week at least a couple times and whatnot. And then you've done other auto shows and other car events throughout the nation. Was there anything about particular when it comes to SEMA that when you think about it, it's like, yeah, there's a reason why this is different compared to a lot of the other car events or automotive events all over the country?
I think so. Initially, like I've always wanted to go since like 2015, 2016 is kind of like when it got on my radar. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, that looks like a sick show to go to. Like I just, again, wasn't really fully indulged into
Yeah.
the industry
Yeah, this would
yet.
have been like baby Colby because
Yeah.
2015 you would have been like what 18? Like, my
Like
girl. Oh,
graduating high school, something like that.
happy belated birthday.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate
of
it.
course.
Yeah.
Sorry, obviously I know
No,
we
no, it's
exchanged
okay.
messages, but
Yeah.
putting it on the pod, happy
Thank
belated
you.
birthday, of course. Yeah, go ahead.
But yeah, no, baby Colby basically.
Yeah.
Maybe just getting out of high school around that time. I had some friends in Juku Racing, so their drift team, and yeah, so they all would always go out there, and I'm like, oh, that sounds so fun. I would love to do that one day, like whatever. So finally, the opportunity came about this year, and honestly, very overwhelming
Mm.
in a good way, though. To the point to where we were nonstop. I mean, we were working anywhere from like 8 to 10 hours realistically at the show. Like we were there in the morning and we stayed till the whole time, and then sometimes after. And from there, it's like you're lucky if you get a nap, go to dinner, and then everybody starts the evening activities.
Yep.
Um, let's see. It was really cool to see how many people come out there. Because correct me if I'm wrong. I believe Friday was the only day that was like quote unquote open to the public, or it's
Yeah,
open to the public.
I was gonna say similar to it's like that, and then media is it's not normal to go ahead. I don't know how it works. By the way, I actually ended up finding this out, and I don't know if you know this, but did you know that you actually have to be 16 or older to attend SEMA?
I did not know that.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I came to find out that
Okay.
shout out it was my boy Dakota and his of course my good friend and his wife Annie, who
Yeah.
are up in Prescott, throttled out. Shout out to throttled out, of course. So they were showing their family's NSX because they just got the wheel sponsor, and so they wanted to go ahead and bring the NSX up to SEMA.
Nice. Okay. Awesome.
And
That's
so they have their beautiful baby boy
fun.
who is now who just turned a year old actually just like 2 weeks ago. um and so they had to go ahead and swap back and forth, leaving the baby at the hotel, and they could only attend one at a time
Um,
because really no kids
I
are
didn't know
allowed at SEMA.
that.
I didn't know that either, and
I
I
guess
found that
now,
very interesting.
I guess now, like looking back, like yeah, there really wasn't
There
any
wasn't
kids.
any
Now
kids,
that I'm
right?
like, yeah, I didn't even.
Yeah, so
Like, I
for
mean,
anyone, so not to call anybody out,
mhm.
but I'm just going to put this out there for anyone that has basically told me, hey, you need to go to SEMA. And I explain to them every year, SEMA lands right around my middle son's birthday.
Okay,
Every
yeah,
time. Like my son's birthday is always like the first couple days of SEMA. And
yeah,
I don't want to go as much as I'd like to go.
of course,
I want to be here
I
with
get
my
it.
son. And
Yeah,
people will be like, oh, well, you can just go once. And I'm like, that's not how it works when you're a dad, homie. But on
yeah.
top of that, I wanted to go ahead and take my boys to
Mm.
SEMA, and I can't. I have to wait until like they're
A
way
couple
older.
years, yeah.
So like
Years.
I even if I
Oh,
wanted to go to SEMA, I can't because they can't come with me. So I wouldn't want to do that. So unless SEMA one day I can
yeah,
make it work where it's not at the same time as my son's birthday, or if maybe like I go like a few days afterwards,
yeah.
maybe. But there you go. For anyone who's basically kind of gotten on my ass for not going to SEMA,
Mhm. No, that
fuckers.
makes that honestly. I can't. So,
I say that
type
lovingly. I
shit.
say that
Yeah.
lovingly. I
No,
say
yeah.
that lovingly.
No, and actually, now that you say that, there was not any kids there. Like, I mean, obviously outdoors and kind of like doing maybe that part,
Right.
but
Well,
not
because it's
within
a
the
trade
actual.
show, and it's a
Yeah,
trade show,
it
and
is. Yeah,
that's the thing.
yeah. And honestly, like I would say, yeah, pull like a day or two, maybe three at most to go. But it's so much. Like honestly, I didn't even make it to what was it, the South? I think it was the South Concourse or the South hall and
Yeah.
then the West Hall. I didn't
Oh,
even make it to them. I feel like I didn't even see half the show just because like we were running around doing our work and doing what we were
yeah.
doing. And then by the time like you're walking everywhere, thank God for Tesla having their little like drop off
It's
whatever
the
thing we
only
were.
time we'll thank Tesla on this podcast, and I'll take
No, yeah, seriously. Well, like okay,
it. Noted.
well, funny enough, because like it's going on all week,
Yeah.
and we were in the North Hall, and we didn't even realize there was a drop off point. So the whole week we were walking there and back from like the drift outside area to the North Hall, and it's like, wow, we
That's
could have been dropped off.
that's brutal, bro. I am so
Oh yeah,
sorry. That's
we got
rough.
our steps in.
I'm
That is for
sure.
sure.
Oh,
Oh
dude, I
yeah.
mean, I did the LA Auto Show like a week and a half after you would have done SEMA.
Yeah.
And I was only there for one day because they just have one day for media and
Okay.
whatnot. So I went the media day.
Yeah.
Makes and because I wasn't gonna go during I'm not gonna go to LA for Thanksgiving. I wasn't gonna
No.
do that. And I was like, so it was the Thursday prior. So I was like,
Yeah.
so I've talked about it on the podcast a couple times and whatnot. So, but Colbs and I are still catching up. So I'm not gonna go too far deep into it. Well, I'll tell him more about it. I'll tell you more off of air.
Yeah.
But I did Phoenix to LA
Okay. Oh,
that
that's how to.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fine. It was like on the way to LA, it was fine. It was coming back on Friday night.
Yeah.
That was killer. It
So
was
good.
killer. I was hurting. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Uh
Oh
and
man.
so I picked up my boy Ryan. Shout out to Ryan, of course, of That Car Show, and shout out to Danny P, Dan Pilling of That Car Show as well. And so I met up with Ryan. I picked him up from LAX because he flew in from Denver,
Okay.
and we went to the convention center because it's like relatively close to LAX. So we went and we went scoped around a little bit. Shout out to
Mhm.
Cali, Cali and Pure PPF. They got us wristbands, so we were able to go ahead and go in while they were setting up, which is really nice.
Nice. Yeah.
And so like Pure PPF had their stand. They had the G80 M3. They had the R34 Skyline with the Bink livery on it. They had
Mhm.
this like really crazy 992 3RS with the like that was like maroon red with gold accents and a Playboy bunny. It was wild. They had a
Love
Turbo S
it.
cab.
Yeah.
Like it was cool. And then like they're setting up like the underground section, which is like just like the culture. It's like for us. Sparq, I actually think would have benefited even if they were downstairs, but it made sense because they were so big. It made sense for them to be in the upstairs section of the convention center.
For
But
sure.
like I felt like their vibe was definitely more so
They're more.
curated to what they were doing like
Yeah.
downstairs, just because of
Okay.
how they had it, especially with the Fast and Furious cars and the outside of it and everything like that. But honestly, that's the layout, the setup that they had upstairs was phenomenal. But so like yeah, that was a 5.5 hour drive from my house into LA. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And
like.
yeah, it was
That's
yeah, but I did it in one tank, Colbs. One tank.
I'm proud of you. You're pulling to me, man.
Yeah, I was real impressed. I was like, all right,
Proud of
little
you.
Sorrento, you did it.
Did it.
368 miles in one shot. Let's go.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah,
Dang.
that was cool. So
Okay.
I pulled a U while I was in LA.
Mhm.
Uh, I went to a manufacturer event.
As you should.
I was really
I'm,
excited. I
I'm
I
happy
shot
for you.
I messaged you and I was like, guess where I am? And you were like, I
You
think you're in
did.
CA. And I
I
was
was like,
like, you are indeed. You are indeed correct. And I was like, guess where I'm going? And you were like, where? And I was
like
like,
where?
may or may not be going to an alpha event. And
Absolutely.
I at that moment in time, I thought to myself, I was like, so this is what it feels like to be Colby. Everything starts to
Got
make a
her.
little bit more sense. Just a smidge, you know what I mean? Um, it, it made me giggle. I was like, okay, so like
I was just
I
saying, I
get
like
it
that.
now.
Thank you. Yeah.
Because it's true. Like, but you do like
I'm very fortunate
one
to,
of those
yeah.
it's one of those things. It wasn't even more so the fact that I was going to the event. It's the more so you have this really, really great thing about being in the right place at the right time. Like you have a
It's all
real
timing.
knack for it. You
Yes.
really, and it's
I just
really
work
impressive.
here. I work here and I show up. And
I
that's,
don't know how you do it, but you just
I don't know.
show up in the moments that it's like you never show up at the wrong time. It's always at the right time.
Mhm.
And that's really impressive. So that was kind of like for me. I knew about it like in a week in advance and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like it was more so like I can't believe I'm actually going to be at the right place at the right time. That's
But
unbelievable. So it was
I'm glad you
real
got to
interesting.
10. That's awesome. No,
Yeah,
it's
no, it was really cool. Shout out to Alfa Romeo. They were the food was delightful. The cars that they had on display that were there were awesome. The Peterson brought out a couple of cars, obviously, and whatnot. So it was such a good time. But
good.
yeah, seeing you be at SEMA, what I was most impressed about was, you seemed more in your element than ever before. And that's saying a lot because I've seen you do and be in places that I'm just like, how is she there? And God damn it, I love it. But like in that particular moment, I was like, we hit like we've achieved the status of yes, this is where she
Mhm.
needs to be. How did it feel?
It felt good. I mean, okay, this is where I'm like really kind of taken back, and it's kind of, I don't want to say imposter syndrome because I really don't like, having that feeling or anything either. But it's one of those things where it's like, okay, it's my first SEMA and I got to like work. Like it wasn't
How
just like
cool? How
that's
rad?
no, so I'm like, that's really like that's a big accomplishment for myself. So
That's a
I
hell of a
had
tick on the resume.
yeah. No, yeah, so thank you, I appreciate it. So that's shout out to Race Day for hiring me. So
Hey,
but
race
yeah,
day.
Race Day. So that was actually again, like I'm trying not to have like the impulsive syndrome for it, but it was also one of those things where it's like, wow, like okay, I'm doing this. Like we're here, we're doing it. I feel good. I'm surrounded by a lot of people within the community, like friends, like new friends, old friends, people I've looked up to, and so I wish I got to see more builds. That is one thing I kind of lacked on, and I really wasn't able to, not able to, but I just didn't make the time to go see all the builds and all the cars and stuff. Um, but just being involved in such an awesome community and I mean, the growth within it too. I can only imagine what SEMA was, within the last couple of years. So I feel like this year it was like popping. And I feel like even a lot of people didn't even show up, but I feel like there was such a good turnout that it
Yeah.
was great. Like it was just mind blowing.
Well, it was really interesting because the Vegas concourse was happening literally the weekend prior to that.
Yes. Oh
So
yeah.
like Vegas was the spot to be
It was
in.
popping.
It
And
was
then you had
popping.
Curated did their rally from Palm Springs, and I think they ended in Vegas on
They did
SEMA as well.
and
Yeah.
whatnot. I did see that. I think Velocity also did a rally on top of that.
Yeah, I think
I think
so.
I'm pretty sure.
It
Yeah,
was so
Dylan was talking about that a couple of episodes ago. Because he did it. I'm pretty sure that they ended in Vegas. So like, so
okay.
that's all going on. Oh, and mind you, 2 weeks after SEMA ends, the Formula One Grand Prix in Vegas
Yeah,
is
Grand
taking place.
Prix,
So
and then
like,
you have LA Auto Show, and then
and then I'm like, yo, Vegas
what's
is
going
like,
on?
it's like
It's
never
popping.
ending. It's kind of
No, yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
Well, and that's like again, like I don't hate Vegas. It's not, I don't really go out and like, don't get me wrong, I'm gonna have a good time, but like, is it my first choice?
She says this while living in Miami. Please
I know,
carry on.
guys. I'm such a homebody. It's crazy, but no, I was
I'm
like, okay,
dead.
this is my week to like go have fun and dress up and do my thing as I'm living in Miami. Um, that's funny. But like a week in Vegas is so much,
It's exhausting.
so much. Yes. Like I got back and I was like, I think I got back Sunday morning because of red eye. I got in at like 5 or 6 in the morning and I kid you not, I slept for 15 hours. I slept
That's
all day.
that's that's a
Yeah,
lot.
I slept all
But
day. But like and it was so good.
sure, no, I'm sure. I'm absolutely sure that it must have been exhausting, both physically as well as mentally and emotionally and whatnot. But like, it looked like an amazing trip.
It was so worth it. Oh, it was great.
Yeah. So, can you talk to me about something really quickly? We were chatting about this offline,
Mhm.
and when you went out to SoCal in April, May time, I
Mhm.
remember, you know, I'm on my Instagram and I'm scrolling. And then I'm like, oh, Kolb's posted. It's a good day. That's how I look at it. And so I'm like scrolling, and all of a sudden, and this is like, listen, dude, and you're gonna laugh when I say this, okay? Colby knows that I live vicariously through her at times, and I'm never mad. I'm just like, oh, Colb's did something super cool. Like I'm so excited. This is one of the only times ever in our friendship that I was legit pissed because I saw you driving the Tokyo Drift S15 Mona Lisa. And I was like, what the hell is going? Obviously, it's obviously a clone and everything like that. It's not the real one. But I
Mhm.
was like, what is happening? Because you're in the S15. Um, the RX-7, the FD RX-7,
Mhm. The
the
veil
Veil
side.
side kit, which
Yeah.
by the way, did you see what the real one sold for? It over this
Ridiculous.
ridiculous. It sold for like 1.5 million. I'm like, that's
Ridiculous
crazy.
amount.
That is crazy. Obviously there was a Veil side clone and whatnot, but like,
Mhm.
so you're driving essentially the movie cars of Too Fast and, oh,
Mhm.
excuse me, of Tokyo Drift. And also, earlier you had done a cool thing with a couple of your friends. Shout out to Alyssa and Hannah, whom
Yeah,
I
my
do hope
girls.
listen. Very cool. Free plug for Hannah. She does spray tans. Shout out to her. Um, Check her out. What is it? Rodeo spray tans?
Rodeo Glow.
Rodeo Glow. Yo,
Rodeo Glow. So
salute.
yeah. Oh, thanks.
Um, for show. And y'all were rolling in the 68 Yanko. I was like, what the I
Oh
was like,
yeah.
I have never been so jealous and mad at you at the same time. But I was so happy that I was just like, I can't even hate right now. But
And
I was more so like, what is happening right now? And why are you rolling in a 68 Yanko from Too Fast?
I wasn't even questioning it, but okay, so it is Hannah's
As
like
you
dream
should
car.
not. You
Yeah, I
should
was like,
never
yeah,
question
not
this. You
even
should never
questioning it.
question this. I'm
Um,
more so as your friend trying to
yeah,
figure out
no,
like what did I
you're
miss?
no, I appreciate that. So
Was it
okay,
a
it is
real
Hannah's dream
Yanko?
car.
Was that a real
Yes.
Yanko or was it
Oh yeah,
okay? Cool. So it was a real
real deal.
Yanko.
And
The other ones
he's
are the
rebuilding it, rebuilding it too. So,
okay.
um, but yeah, we were able to take it out to Pioneer Town. We got an Airbnb out there,
Yeah,
and
that looks so
we
sick.
were just
It did.
oh,
That
it
looks
was
sick.
beautiful, beautiful. And that was like our first like girls' night, and like I think pretty much for me getting back out there, which was awesome too.
Mhm.
So it's just the girls cruising in the Yanko, and we went and we did some photos, and we shot for Hannah's company, Rodeo Glow. And then obviously just girls, we like photos too. So we were just splurging on having a good time. And it was like a good little 24-hour getaway. It was amazing. So
Um, for anybody who's interested, it respectfully. Um, there was a Mexican Coca-Cola bottle that made me laugh. That may have been the
yeah.
picture of the entire set. I was like, it's like shout out to the Mexican Coke bottle.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Did you, by the way? So did you drive the 68 or
I
no?
didn't. No,
Okay.
This was all Hannah, man. Well, okay, so also I think this had happened before the Mona Lisa.
Mhm.
So, and here's the backstory with the Mona Lisa for
Hit me with
me.
the backstory. I've been trying to get this for 5 months.
I
I
know.
got left on red, and I was like, "Hey, yo,
No, I'm
of all
sorry.
the times, it's okay. No, I don't take it personally, but I was just like, of all the times, this is the one time I
You're
need you
like,
to
this is the
not.
one. I need
Yeah,
it.
just tell me
So
what's going on."
the backstory. Okay, first off, so a big part of me getting into cars was also my friends from Minjuku.
Hmm.
Um, at the time, they had the duel between me and Kevin driving. So S14 and S15 were the cars that they would drift at the time. So kind of just like long history with that for once. I was like, this is awesome. Basically, what had happened is we had to go pick up the R34 and the S15. And my buddy looks at me and he's like, "Do you know how to drive manual?" And I was like, "Yeah,
If you go back to our very first
enough.
podcast, you
Like,
do a lot
I
better
can get away
now.
with it."
Yeah, yeah,
Oh yeah. No, okay.
a
So
lot better.
this is my thing. Is like, okay, did I fully know how to drive manual? No, I've never been thrown into a car, which is what I needed, which is what happened. So that was my first. Like, we had to drive like 40 minutes too, and I didn't burn the clutch. I didn't roll back. I know. I was like, yes, like killing it right now. I loved it, and the fact that was like my first time really driving manual on the highway like that nervous as hell, but was a right hand
Couldn't
drive
tell.
too.
You were
I was
filming
eating it
yourself
up.
out of the car, dog. I was
I
like,
was eating it up. No, that was
yeah.
Hannah. Thank God. She was
Oh, was
on it
that
for me. Yeah, she was on it. But yeah, she got a little clip from me because she knows it real good. But yeah, so that was my first time really driving on the highway, let alone right hand drive car S15. So kind of like a full circle moment. Yeah, like Mona Lisa. That's kind of cool. A little
yeah.
replica, not a bad, not a bad deal. So
Wasn't a bad day. That was not a
yeah,
bad
not a
day.
terrible day. And I was like, honestly, like I want to drive.
So how was it to drive? Was it easy?
Yeah,
Was like,
it wasn't
because
sticky.
we
It
talked about
wasn't.
it's a clone and whatnot. It's not a movie car. Like that they just went ahead and redid the car, right? But like, is that
Yes.
so? Was it like an SR20 in it, or what? Or what was the engine?
Solid question.
Oh.
I had no clue. It was a solid question.
We do
I had
not
no
know what
clue.
was in the car. All right, fair.
Didn't know. Was thrown in it. Told to drive it. Not gonna argue on it. I didn't even ask. I can
Fair.
find out.
Fair. No, it's okay. I mean, it's
Yeah.
I was just really curious and whatnot, but I mean, it would probably make sense. It was more than likely an SR20, but it could have been something else. But it was it quick, or was it like pretty, like how built, like was it pretty built, or like was
It was
it
pretty
like
built up. It was pretty
yeah,
built up.
okay,
It wasn't like again, it wasn't really sticky. It was a really smooth like shift. Which I think like I didn't really get into it. Like again, this is my
sure,
first time driving, so I wasn't going crazy. But I mean, it was pretty smooth and I mean, quick to it. So it had
sure,
everything kind of done up to it, I believe. I don't really know what was in it though. It's a solid
fair.
question.
That's totally
The
fair.
excitement got the hold of me on that one, and I was like,
I don't,
I just want to drive it.
I in zero,
I just
I
want to
don't blame
drive.
you at all. I do not blame you whatsoever. But that was really, really cool. And then the Yanko, where I was just like,
So,
I was like, that's a blue Yanko with white stripes, and that's Too Fast, Too Furious spec. And I was like, ah, I've
hmm.
never been more jelly in my life. And then seeing you with the S15, I was like,
What is going on
where
here?
I just it was more so like, where have I gone wrong? Like,
I'm like, it was honestly, I kid you not, I mean, honestly, the whole time I was back in California was a movie.
movie,
Like, I
yeah.
kid you, and this is another thing that I think people on. Hannah and I literally are like side quest sisters. I don't know how we get into what we get into, but we just do, and
Sure.
it is usually the best time. I don't know how it happens, but we just show up and we get on these little adventures, and we're like, "You're here, I'm here. All right, let's go." Like, why
That's
not?
awesome. That's really sick. I mean, you guys were hanging out with a Countach during car week. What was that
Mm-hmm.
all about? What was
Mm-hmm.
that?
So I ran into some European friends from Europe, and I ran into them at RM and go shoot and kind of cruise around. They're like, "Do you guys want to go?" And it was like, again, me and Hannah are just like, "Do you got anything planned?" I don't got anything. All right, hey, yeah, we're down.
Again,
So
right
that
place,
was
right time. Yeah.
100%, and good friends of mine too. So it was really nice that they offered, and just that was such a surreal like moment too of being able to drive like down to Big Sur, and
Hmm.
actually I don't think it was like fully Big Sur, but down the bridge there in Monterey, and in a Countach, Oceanside hills, like just pure
Yeah.
car. Oh my
Dude,
gosh.
let me tell you something. It's funny you say that, because I kind of had a kind of a similar experience to what you just
Mhm.
described while I was the last day I was in LA last
Mhm.
month.
Awesome.
Um, I did Pacific Coast Highway like for 40 miles.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and I was like,
Sorry.
it was really great.
It's unreal.
It's unreal. It is
It's
kind of
unreal.
crazy to go ahead and see how many houses were lost and stuff like that. But I'm not going to get into that because obviously we've covered that a bunch. And
Mhm.
I love Los Angeles, and my heart goes out there as they continue to rebuild and whatnot. But it is kind of wild to go ahead and see the water to your left when you're going up north on
Yeah.
the PCH, and it's like, wow, that you are level, like you are fully
Mhm.
level with the water. It's really
You're like,
kind of
oh, I get
crazy.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, like
Like I understand.
I'm like I was like looking to my right, and then you see like Pepperdine University like later on and stuff
Mhm.
like that. And then you then we always get mad at the California market when it comes to homes and stuff like that. You're like, man, it's so expensive and blah blah blue. And then when you're in LA on PCH, and then you have that moment of like,
You're like, I fully understand. And
uh,
I have
yeah,
such, it's so hard because I feel like I always leave a part of my heart in California too. So
hmm
it's like, it's always like a second home to me. Um, but oh my gosh, I would kill for a PCH cruise. Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
It was
Just the,
it was
yeah,
so good. It was so
it's
good.
so, that's where I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm like, I get it. And like,
hmm
that's the thing. I come back to Miami and I'm like, damn, we ain't got no driving roads.
Yeah,
Like,
like you have the water, but it's not the same.
but it's not the same. It's not the
It's not
same.
the
And
same.
it never, nobody can justify that. And it's like, don't get me wrong,
Yeah,
like my heart is in Miami, like it's South Florida, but it's also like I feel like I leave a little bit of myself in California every time that I
sure.
leave or go out there. And
Yeah.
just being able to cruise on the highway, I mean, you can see the mountains, you can sometimes see like the snow caps on the mountains, and you're
Yeah,
driving by the ocean, and oh my gosh, it's an unreal state, and I'm very fortunate that I've been able to have my fun out there too.
for
So,
sure. For sure.
mhm.
I
I'm glad
ran
you
the
got to
can
experience that,
oh, I ran the canyons while I was up there. I
as you
haven't told
should.
you. Yeah, but I
Okay,
ran
how
them.
was it?
I mean, I made like I said this a couple podcasts ago. I Bonnie blued my brakes for about 2 seconds. Other than that, it was glorious.
Okay,
Glorious.
as
Yes.
should. Oh my gosh, I miss the canyons so much.
They were
Like,
so good.
yes, that's
Yeah.
like again, this is no comparison at all to it either, but like okay, my hometown, it's the most elevated part of Florida.
Yeah.
So,
Because like
so
it's mid Florida.
it's
It's like
middle of the state.
northwest of Orlando. It's the middle of
Yeah.
it. Yeah. hmm
Yep. So it's the most elevated. So we have like some little hills and stuff like that. And we got all the little windy roads. Again, nothing like the canyons, nothing like California, but it's like it's fun to kind of maybe go drive there a little bit. But like I
Sure.
feel like that's the most like driving roads you get here in Florida. And then I would say besides that, you really have to go up to like Tail Dragon. Like that's
Or
the
Georgia.
closest.
You could get away
Yeah,
with
Georgia. You
Georgia.
tried Georgia,
Yeah.
yeah. I would say Georgia too. Yeah, that's a good point. Good point. You
Yeah.
valid on that, yeah.
The
Like I
Papa
haven't been
Tarmac, he's
there, isn't
valid.
it?
It's okay.
Yeah.
I've watched enough of that dude in blue to know that Georgia's where it's
They're
at.
just chilling.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the California canyons, Latigo, Encinal, Topanga, all
Mm. Oh,
those,
yeah. Yeah.
Tuna. I was like, yeah,
I
this
get
is it. Yeah.
it.
And the funny
I
thing was like, I remember talking about this with Victoria when she was on the podcast not too long ago, that I grew up. I mean, I shouldn't say I grew up because I was a young adult, um, and whatnot. But like, I watched the Smoking Tire one takes. I
mhm.
watched them when Matt and Zach first started them back in like 2012, 2013, 14 timeframe. And I remember seeing them run the canyons, and it was like the snake. At the top of Mall. By the way, the snake just opened up for the first time after like 6 years, like like a weekend ago or whatnot, and it's already
Oh wow.
taken two wrecks. So
Okay.
hopefully, so for anybody in Southern California, please, for the love of everything
Just
that
be
is
careful.
holy, just be
Yeah.
careful so that way you don't lose that road. That being said, I remember watching these videos,
Mm.
and Matt and Zach running the canyons and Johnny Lieberman running the canyons in his videos for Ignition and Head to Head. So, like, for me to go ahead and run the canyons and me visualizing and remembering a lot of these moments in their videos in their one
Mm.
takes over the years and stuff like that, that was kind of low key surreal. Even if you're not in a regular, even if you're in a regular car, I was
Mhm.
just like,
I'm
man,
here. Like this is
this is
awesome.
it. And like,
Yeah.
I think doing it in my car and it not being conducive to what it was is probably what
Mhm.
made it funnier and more hilarious. Like, I
Hey,
was
you
like,
still
my
drove it though. That's
homie,
awesome.
the tires were squealing. They were squealing for
Let's get
dear
into it.
life.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh God. I was like,
Uh,
and then I had to remind myself, I'm like, Jorge, you have a 400-mile drive home after this, bro.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's smart. Smart. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, we got to take it a little bit easy. That's why I was like, when I realized that I went through my brakes, and mind you, I
Mhm.
have brakes that I just put on like in May and
Mhm.
whatnot, but like I smelled my brakes. Me and Ryan were driving, we had our
You're
windows
getting
down.
into it
Yeah.
as
Oh,
you
yeah.
should.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was like, he's like, Jorge, I think I think that was your beer breaks. I was like, I smell those too. That's why I said I Bonnie Blued them respectfully, or disrespectfully, however you want to view Bonnie Blue. And move on. Um, yeah, so it was interesting. That was a movie for me. Eating
Mm,
at Neptune's Net was a movie for me.
mm,
You know, in the same way that we're talking about Tokyo Drift, and
of
you
course.
guys driving the Yanko and from Too Fast,
Mm-hmm.
like to go to Neptune's Net
Mm-hmm.
after me being a fan of these movies for the past 25 years,
Mm-hmm.
that was surreal.
I love that.
That
That's
was really surreal.
I'm trying to think. I went my first time out there was 2022 in January.
Yeah.
And I went out there and I was like, there's no way. I was like, I'm here right now. This is sick.
I sat in the same section where they filmed the scene, and
Yes.
I
Wow.
was like, and then I was just like, it stinks because there's not very good reception out there, but you better
Mhm.
believe I took out my phone and I went ahead and played the scene of them eating shrimp at Neptune's Net while I was
Yeah,
eating my own shrimp. I did that like because I'm a
that's awesome.
dork. I
No,
haven't
hey,
mentioned that yet.
no
I definitely did
perspective.
watch the scene. And I won't let anybody take that away from me ever. No one
Never.
can take
No,
that away
yeah,
from
no
me.
one can take that from you.
No one
That's
can.
awesome.
No one can. Rest in
I
peace,
love
Paul Walker. And Vin, please finish this movie and we can be happy and just move on with our lives after this point.
that.
Um, it was surreal. There's something about there, I don't know if it's because of the Hollywood vibe to Los Angeles Colbs, but everything does kind of feel low key like a movie when you're out in LA.
Mhm.
When you
It
do like car
feels, it's
yeah,
very like, yeah, I mean, it is, honestly, it is, it just feels like a movie. That's literally any part of life out there. Like, I feel like I'm in a movie scene
yeah.
nonstop.
It's
It's,
it's it's such a special it it makes me want to go to Los Angeles more often, but then it tells me don't go to LA that often so that way you can really savor it. It's the same way that I say this jokingly, I've talked about In and Out multiple times over the last like few weeks on this episode on the podcast. I don't mean to, but that was kind of like when I was growing up as a kid before we got In and Out and where I used to grow up and coming up to Phoenix and go ahead and because we had In and Out here in Phoenix. We just didn't have it in Tucson until like 2008. You look forward to that. I'd look forward to going on a road trip to LA or to San Diego, and I'll be like, ooh, I get to have
yeah,
In and Out. You know what I
yeah,
mean? It's
yeah.
I, I would want being so close to LA and to, at least flight wise, like an hour and a half. Driving wise, from my house, it's 5.5 hours to LA, 4.5 hours to San Diego. But like it, I can go there, but I have to restrain myself
Mhm.
so that way when I go, I can enjoy it a little bit more
Yeah.
because I could
And
easily
that's,
hit LA all the time. You know what I mean?
yeah. No, and I'm also, I feel like coming back here and being in Florida again, and like, I hate to say it, y'all, third time is not going to be the charm on this one. I'm not moving back to Cali. So,
Your wallet does not agree with that market.
yeah, I was like, I know, you know, seriously. So, no, it's just, it's nice. Again, like I have friends that have turned to family. So it's like, you know, I feel like I have open doors to stay as they do here. And, it's nice to be able to kind of have a reason to go out and like, you know, plan work and plan seeing my people and, you know, being able to fully take it in like I should, you know, where I feel like living there, I kind of get used to it and I don't take advantage of it. So when I'm out there, I want to be go, go, go. I want to see everybody. I want to see everything. I want to cruise on PCH, you know, I want to go LA, down to San Clemente, San Diego, wherever, like, and be able to actually enjoy every little piece of California that I can.
Yeah,
So, mm,
it's I'm with you. It's interesting, and so you just kind of you have to reserve yourself. So like, but like I've said it before, and I told Ryan this. I'm trying to make the LA Auto Show a yearly thing.
you
You know
should.
what I mean?
Should.
I'm going to for
Mm,
that exact reason because I had so much fun. But then like, oh yeah, I'll go to the LA Auto Show every year. Oh, but wait, Car Week is 2 months prior to that. Oh, but wait, the Velocity Invitational is also so it's like, oh, okay, so I plan to go to California at least 3 times. I'm
mm,
like, that's a lot in one year. I can't
yeah,
swing that all the time. So now I
I
have to
get
go
it.
ahead and figure out
Mm,
oh I gotta, maybe do twice a year. Maybe if that makes sense. And when
Mhm.
I don't know, it's California. You have my heart at times. You do in terms of of car culture perspective and
Yeah.
whatnot. Yeah. By the way, there's a steakhouse that I went to. I've talked about it a couple times already, but I went to the steakhouse in Beverly Hills that I need to tell you about when we're done, because I had an amazing meal there.
You should. Okay.
And it was like fire. So the next time you're in LA, if you haven't been, maybe you've been to it and maybe you're like, oh no, I've been to that. And it's like, okay, cool, go again. But if not, you need to go because it was sensational. Um, can we talk a little bit about your lack of posting on your YouTube channel, young lady?
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Because you posted four really fun videos that I had a great time watching, and then you left us
I
high and
did.
dry for like 5 months. And then now, of course, you went ahead and just dropped something after SEMA
Mhm.
and your SEMA recap, and I don't know what else is coming
I'm
towards
getting
the
back
end.
on it. Yeah, I'm working on.
Please. So
Yeah,
what
I'm working back
happened?
on it.
Yeah, is it?
Um,
Did you, it's tough, isn't it?
I I wouldn't say more so the time, but honestly, I think I just had so much going on when I was out there, and then so between like working and then I mean this is a typical thing between working and not having enough time, and then trying to I'm my biggest hypocrite when it comes to posting things. So that's something I've been working on and getting over and just like stopping the nitpicking because I nitpick on myself a lot. Like when I'm editing the videos, I'm like, oh, this isn't it. And then honestly, like for a moment there too, I got really what's the word? Kind of just like living more in the moment. Like I put
Mm,
my phone down. I'm not gonna say I put my phone down, but like I take my photo. Like I wasn't video. I'm not recording. Like I was just like there. I want to be there. I want to be present. I want to have the conversations. For instance, like one on Gold Rush Rally, and it's like I recorded some stuff on my phone, but like, and I had my little Osmo that I record everything on for YouTube, and I didn't even take it out of the bag. I was
wow.
like, I just was so in the moment with everything. It was so fun. So I think I kind of went through like that little period, and now I'm getting to the point where I'm like, okay, I can balance it a little bit better now. But also, I'm just like, okay, it's something fun for me to go back and talk about too.
Mhm.
Where I'm like, I don't know, yeah, we'll see. So
Well, it's like
definitely more focused.
it's interesting to go ahead and create more memories as opposed to go, because we live in this timeline
Mm-hmm.
where, in particular, because your job is essentially social media in some way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm.
Media, social media, however you want to describe it, with all the different variations of what you do, and you're always looking at what's in front of you through some sort of lens, whether it's
Yes,
the lens of your
always.
phone or the
Mm-hmm.
lens of the camera or a camera that is on you in order for you to go ahead and do interviews and things of that nature. And it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of nice to be able to go ahead and get everything away and then just focus in the present and realize what I'm doing. And
Yep.
I feel that more people should take advantage of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I won't call you a hypocrite in that sense, because I think more people should be doing what you just elaborated on,
Mm-hmm. And
me included.
it's just one of those things where it's like I feel and especially for a moment there, like I was getting really caught up on just like I was filming everything, and it's like it was good, and it's like I will say recording like on my Osmo has helped me kind of like I'll record at the airport and like just in situations or places that I'm not used to, but it's also one of those things where it's like is my goal to be like a vlogger or like somebody big on YouTube? No, it's more so I would say my goal for it is just like I want to have some cool car reviews, and it's pretty much just like, hey, Colby's on the go. Where is Colby? Oh, this is what she's been up to. Cool. Like I'm gonna watch her video. Like that's kind of like I think my goal with it. If it turns into something more, awesome. If not, hey, it is what it is. But I know I need consistency when for that. But it's nice to kind of be able to take a step back and take a breather and just like really realize what's going on and like not recording like some really cool car that or say some vintage Countach like through the lens. Like I want to be able to visualize that with my eyes.
I
Like I
completely
want to
agree.
see that.
Yeah.
So.
So I alluded to this too, a little bit on last podcast when I talked about this for like 4 or 5 minutes. Because I talked about the actual car, but I didn't necessarily talk entirely about the experience. Well, I mean, I mentioned that I was basically in love with it, and it's basically the car that I've been wanting it to be for me for 5 years now, and I'm glad that I got a chance to drive it. Now I have to go ahead and figure out how to afford it. But I finally drove an F87 M2 CS, right?
Congrats. Awesome. Oh yeah.
I mean, I
You
haven't
talked
shut up
about it,
about.
yeah. I was
Oh,
gonna say you talked about it. Yeah.
just a little
Yeah.
bit,
A
just a little
little
bit,
bit. A little bit.
and but I realized afterwards that I forgot to record on my phone.
You're in the moment.
And then I was like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I
I get that.
didn't care. I was just like,
Mhm.
just ingrained into that moment of I'm driving this
You're
car
living
and I'm
life. You're
and I'm
living.
just enjoying the hell out of it. And the
Mhm.
owner wanted me to drive it as long as I wanted to, and I took it for like 30 minutes. The owner was with me, mind you. Um,
That's
but
awesome.
like they wanted me to drive and keep driving it. And I was like, I don't want to waste your gas, homie. Like, but thank you. But and when I think about it now, I say, oh man, I should have gotten at least some like driving impressions and whatnot. But like, no, like if you were to ask me, oh, how was the CS? Like, can you describe it for me? I would be able to 1000%, no problem. I'll tell you, it's the best one car solution you can go ahead and buy on the used market right now. But
Mhm.
at the same time, it's also one of those things of like, no, I'm glad that it was a moment for myself to drive that car. It was also nice to go ahead and have that moment in the sense of it was the car that I was hoping it would be. And it
Because mhm.
like makes me realize that I have spoken its high praises for 5 straight years and 3 years on this show,
Mhm.
and I wasn't wrong, which I'll take. And it's not about having an ego or being like, oh, told you guys, but it's
Mhm.
more so I was like, thank God, because
Yeah.
actually I
I
was,
would say you always talk very highly about that car and the
I
fact that it
do.
met the needs
And I
of
was
the
really
United States.
nervous to drive it, Colby. I was really nervous to drive it because I didn't want it to not be as good as I had hyped it up to be. The
Yeah.
LP640 was different because I wasn't driving it. I was
Okay.
being driven in it. And also, same thing. I didn't take out my phone once while I was in the
Awesome.
LP640 last year.
Mhm.
I was cocooned
You're fully
into
there.
this thing, and I'm like, this is the greatest car of all time. And I still have that thought to this day
Awesome.
and whatnot. But that lived up to the hype because it's kind of hard for a Lambo to not live up to the hype.
Mhm.
This is a little bit different because it's a CS, don't get me wrong, but like it's a little bit more practical. It's a sports coupe, it's not a supercar, it's
Mhm.
and whatnot. It's just for like I'm not going to go ahead and call it your typical BMW, but it's a BMW. It's an M, but it's a BMW. And it's a
Mhm.
little bit more easier to come by and whatnot. So it was like really one of those things. I was like, what if it's not as what if it doesn't drive as nicely as I would like for it to? What if it's actually not as fast as I hope it is? What
Mhm.
if it's like really stiff? Because, comps you've heard so many times, oh, they're so stiff. CS is supposed to be softer, but what if it's not as soft as I like it
Mhm.
and whatnot? And all these things are playing in my mind to the point
Mhm.
where it's like, I don't want it to, like, there was two things. One, I hope it doesn't suck. But then
Yeah.
on the completely other side, I was like, I hope it's also not as great to the point where it's like, I'm now mad that I can't afford
I'm
this
not
car.
again.
Which now, let it be known right now, I'm very mad that I can't afford this car. Like, let it be clear. Like, that is the thing. I might go ahead and start showing off my feet on the internet. My point being is though, that was really nice to turn off and be in the moment. It was
Being
worth
present.
it.
And
Being
that's
present.
I I'm glad you said that, and like it's nice to hear that it's not just like me, because I'm, again, and I think being consumed. I mean, this is work for me too. So, and I feel like there's a lot of people, especially in the industry, that are like that, where we're always editing, we're always doing something, we're always looking at technology, and it's like to step back and be able to just experience and breathe and enjoy the moment for ourselves through our eyes. These are the best lenses that we have. Don't get me
Literally.
wrong, camera's pretty cool, but these are built in. It's kind of cool.
These are built in. Mine aren't that great, but I have glasses on
Don't
for it.
worry, mine aren't either. But
And so, Yeah, and we've always talked about that. I've always told you that I feel like you have an old soul. Um, and you and I think very similarly.
Mhm.
We have, which is
Yes,
probably
yeah.
what makes us such good friends.
Mhm.
Um, and so I'm so happy that we are both able to go ahead and share in that same thought process and whatnot.
Mhm.
And I guess so. We're kind of getting towards the end here, and whatnot, because I want to cut it a little bit short. It's getting late over there and whatnot. So I appreciate your time. I really, really, really appreciate your time.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm just picturing right now, really quickly, completely randomly popped into my head like 2 minutes ago, and I wanted to go ahead and say this. I know that we're gonna go ahead and drop the post for this podcast, and I know Rhodes Collective Taylor is gonna be hyped because he has
Yes.
no idea that we're
I
recording a
love
second
them.
episode together this
No,
year.
that's awesome.
I can
I love
imagine the thunderbolt emoji on the comment
Yes.
section right now.
I
Um,
love it.
so hi Taylor,
Hi.
how are you, buddy?
Yeah.
Um,
That's so sick.
he's awesome. He's the best. He
He
owes me a
is.
hat. I should call him out right now. He actually owes me a hat. He told me he'd pick out a hat, and I was like, I did, and I still haven't gotten it. Taylor, where's my hat at, bro?
So funny enough, we were planning to do some stuff during Car Week, right? And
Yeah.
it's the what was it? It was
He got
RM.
featured. His 996 got featured by what's it called? What's the YouTuber? What's that UK YouTuber who's doing Magna Cars? Magna Cars featured him and his
Okay.
996 in
Oh,
car
sick.
in Carmel in Monterey. Yeah,
That's awesome. I
that was
love
cool.
that. No, it's funny for like a split second. I was like, because again, him and I have never really met. I mean, until Car Week. But so RM, the main night, Saturday night, I was running in and I seen the
Oh yeah.
hat and I was like, I know that hat. I was like, I know that. And I was like, Taylor.
Yeah,
And it was like we were both like we both had our stuff going on, so it was like, hey, like
yeah,
hopefully recoup. But I know obviously Car Week, everybody gets. I'm really bad about it too, but everybody
I know.
has their schedules and just
Oh,
running around and
you are definitely bad about it because I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and shoot you down for about 2 seconds.
do
And
it.
by the way,
Do
I'm doing
it.
my best. I'm going to try and go to Car Week next week. That next year, that's the plan. I keep
Do
telling
it.
myself that, but like let's try and make it happen.
Mm.
So you were at RM at the auction,
Yes.
and I get off of work on that Saturday night, and I'm driving home and I'm looking at my Instagram account while I was getting ready to leave the parking lot. And that was the night that the SP3 went for 26 milli.
Yes.
And it broke my face. And
Yep.
so I knew you were at RM. So I
Mhm.
called you so you could verify, like, is this actually real? And
Real deal. Sorry.
full full on negated my call, full on didn't even text back, like still to this day has not responded back to that particular message. Got to call you out on it. um Let me
Oh
ask you a
gosh.
question.
Mhm.
Now that I've embarrassed you, you're welcome. What was it like to be in the room when the freaking auction was going on for that SP3? That must have been
Freaking
surreal.
for surreal, honestly, kind of just nutty to be in that room, let alone with who's bidding and just some of the
And
collectors
what they're
and
bidding.
what they're bidding on.
Yeah.
Let alone that going and what it was. And I think what maybe 4 or 5 rows back is where I was sitting. So like kind of being there, like having a seat for one,
Sure.
and just being able to watch it go across stage. The energy in the room was everybody had like kind of the same reaction, I feel like, and
Yeah.
it was a good one. It was definitely like a good, but it was also like everybody's like, what the heck is going on right now?
I couldn't agree with you more. Like I remember I talked to Eddie, Eddie X was on the podcast like a couple of weeks after Car Week and whatnot.
Mhm.
And we talked about it. It just I told him straight up, I was like, I've seen this is how crazy this situation was because I get home later that night
Mhm.
and I went into RM's YouTube channel on my big screen in my living room,
Mhm.
not on my phone. I've turned it on the big screen, and I'm now memory serves me correct. Shout out to John Paulo. Uh, Camera caught him like right in the middle of the auction. I was like, "It's
Okay.
GP." I was like,
Yeah,
"It's
yeah.
GP.
That's
Look at
awesome.
that! Look at that! This is my boy." It was very funny.
Nice.
Um,
That's
but
awesome.
I'm on their YouTube channels after the auction ended, and I'm like fast forwarding through the entire like 3.5 hours or whatever.
That's a long
And
action.
I
Yeah.
finally reach it, and I click play, and the auctioneer is starting to hype up the car. Like, it
Mhm.
really went for it. He's like, and I was like, my God, you're talking like this is the greatest thing ever sold and whatnot. I'm like, all right, brother, sheesh.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what the bidding started at, Colby. Maybe you can. I feel like it
I feel
started.
like I have a photo of it somewhere in my
It
phone,
did
but
it start at like five,
4 or 5, maybe
4 or 5?
6. Like I feel like
Okay.
it started lower, but like it jumped. I think to like
Well, that's my
probably 10,
point.
11. Like it jumped really quick.
When it got to like it when it took less than 30 seconds to get up to
Yes.
20
Yeah.
million, and I was like,
It jumped. I want to
what
say
is
it started
happening?
low.
Mm-hmm.
I think I say low like it's casual thing here,
Sure,
but
right.
yeah,
Casually.
it's like
Started low.
casually
It started like
started
four.
low. A couple 4, maybe 5. Like I have to say.
Stupid. It's so stupid. It makes no sense.
Yeah. But I want to say it started like kind of lower numbers, and then I kid you not, I think it jumped up to like maybe 10, 11, and then like it was at 20 right away. Like there was no hesitation in
They
the
were
room.
like they were skipping millions to
Yes.
get to these
Yes.
numbers. Like, it
Like
went to like 20, and then the next person bid 22, and I was like, are
yeah.
you kidding me right now?
Oh yeah, there was like jumps, so
Yeah.
decimal jumps, and I'm like, okay, okay,
Okay.
all right,
Like,
this is fun.
if I was you, I would have walked out of RM feeling snooty as hell. I'd have been like,
I
yeah,
probably
no,
did.
I like, and you did, right? That's why you
Like I
didn't, that's why
probably
you
did.
didn't answer. Yeah, that's why you didn't call. It's like,
I was like, I just came from
I'm,
here.
I'm sorry. I can't talk to you right now. You're too
Do you just
poor to
know what
talk
my
to me.
eyes just witnessed?
I have seen $26 million be transacted in a car.
But
I am
even
not the
just
same person.
no, but even like the like what do you I want not like the welcoming video, but like the video that they created for the car, it was dramatic, it was silent, like
Sure.
it was
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a
yeah.
full movie going on. I was like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
That was well
Yeah.
done. That was cool.
Yeah. They really, really, went for it. And then RM just went ahead and, sold the McLaren F1
Mhm.
for like 25 plus in Abu Dhabi just this past weekend and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's I was talking to Lorenzo, and I was talking with John Paulo, and I was like,
Mhm.
guys, is there room left to grow on this car? And
Mhm.
without hesitation, Colby, you know what they said to me? Absolutely. Absolutely. And I was like, I thought they were John Paulo basically said, not to go ahead and quote him, but he was like, this is kind of low key the 250 GTO of our time. I was
Okay.
like, that's
That's an
that's
interesting.
crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. It
I
shouldn't
I
really
see
be a
that with that
surprise
one.
because it's the
Yeah.
McLaren F1. It shouldn't
Yeah.
come as a surprise, but it's like at the same time, like, that's crazy.
That's crazy. Wow.
Yeah.
No, I can appreciate that you said that though. That's not wrong.
He's not
Yeah.
wrong. Yeah,
Not
he's
wrong.
not wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, it's it's by many considered the greatest car ever made. I like the F1. I
Mhm.
saw an F1 at the Peterson in July when I went
Mhm.
down there. They had it at the totally awesome 80s and 90s display.
Mhm. That's
And oh, dude, it was so cool. It's
cool.
really nice. It's a silver one. And I was like, my friend was walking me around, and I was like, oh, this is it's an F1. And mind
Mhm.
you, Faster LLC's got a CLK GTR around the corner and stuff like that. And I was like,
Mhm.
which I had seen at the Velocity Invitational earlier in the fall. And I was just like, but like nothing, like anything and everything can be around an F1, and
Mhm.
nothing will grasp the attention the way that an F1 does.
100%.
It's it's
100%.
it's fascinating.
Mhm.
It just goes to show that it really is 30 plus years later, it still holds this that there's a specialness to it. It's a
Mhm.
spirit that is just like, it is the shutdown car. You can have a Bugatti around it, you could have a Koenigsegg, you
Mhm.
can have a Pagani. It doesn't matter. You can have the sickest Lambo ever made. You park it next to a McLaren F1,
Mhm.
like, your dick shrinks, homie. Like, straight. That's the opener. That's the
Yeah,
opener
that's
of
the
the
opener.
podcast. Yep.
I love
That's wild. I apologize.
that's fun.
Um, but yeah,
That's the
so
opener.
that's the opener. Um, it's crazy. It is crazy how wild that car is in person, and so small, so much smaller than I expected it to be.
Yeah.
That's where I was like, oh wow, it's kind of it's a small package,
Mhm.
whereas the SP3 looks kind of big, kind of
Yeah.
wide. It's really wide,
It's
really way
wide,
wider than I expected it
but
to
it's
be.
long. Like it's long too. Like it's wide.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's a large car.
Sure. Well,
I'd say
so I
so.
saw a laugh earlier this year for the first time, and I was really surprised at how small the laugh was.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they're tiny.
Yeah,
Well, I'm not gonna say they're tiny, but like they're definitely smaller. Like
yeah. Like
you
when
wouldn't expect it to be. Like especially with them.
I
Like
well, I
yeah.
feel like camera angles make it look a tad bit bigger.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I saw the laugh for the first time, I was like, wow, it's smaller in person. Same like when you see a P1 and like when the P1 isn't even dropped to the ground all the
Mm-hmm.
way, like with its downforce setup and whatnot, it's still so low to the ground. And I'm just like, I cannot believe this car is that low.
Mm-hmm.
It makes no sense. It's really, really rad though. I'm like, yeah, I will never hate on it whatsoever. You will never hear any hatred coming from me when it comes to McLaren P1.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. So you know me, Porsches, Ford GTs, and McLaren are pretty much my go-to.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, the
Yeah.
GT40. Yeah, GT40. I mean,
Mm,
that is you.
just yes. I was like, that's just yes to me.
Yeah,
That's my. I
that's
eat
your
those up.
whip.
Yeah.
Yeah. They've got a couple down at the I'll say it afterwards. I'm going to edit that bit out. I'll tell you afterwards.
Yeah.
We have reached the end of this evening's podcast. Before we go,
Mhm.
I would like to know what you're excited about, what you're grateful for in 2025, and then what you're excited about for 2026.
Mm. So, what I'm grateful this year, probably more of, let's see, being involved in such a great community. I feel like I feel like I kind of got a little jaded for a little bit,
Mhm.
probably like 2023, 24. But this year, it's like I had such a healthy relationship with the industry that it was just like cool between the cars, between people. The experiences that I've had this year were ungodly and unreal. Um, so I think I'm very, very thankful and grateful for this community. It's, been one thing. I feel like each year it just gets better and better somehow. And for 2026, a goal or just something I'm excited about, I would like to attend something going on in Europe.
Mm.
Festivals of Speed, Le Mans, anything. Like I really would like to do a Euro trip and something car related, F1 and like whatever it may be. That's I think kind of a goal this year. We'll see how it works out. Um, I think this next year a goal of mine is to speak more in front of the camera. Like I will be doing that a lot more. So, and I'm really excited about it as well.
But I mean, it's what I've been, it's what we've been telling and asking of you
So
for
yeah, I
such a
was gonna
long
say,
time. You're so good behind it, but you've always been really, really good in front of it. And then your presentation
yeah,
skills continue to get better and better and better. And
that's
so
it.
it's an appetite that we can tell that you have inside of yourself, and you need to feed that
Mm,
appetite. So it's good that we as your
mm,
friends, we get a chance to go ahead and see your growth. It's phenomenal.
appreciate
Um
it.
and I'm very excited for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, it is indeed my pleasure. I am so happy that you are accomplishing so many amazing things. Um, People ask me when it comes to like TTs, like what's my favorite part about it sometimes. And I've interviewed some cool people, right?
Mm.
I'm not trying to go ahead and pat myself on the back. I'm just
No,
I
yeah,
recognize I've interviewed some really, really cool
you
people,
have.
but like, and I've gotten a chance to go ahead and do some kind of cool things. There's a couple things that I'm just like, oh man, that all right, baby, you did okay. But my favorite thing is seeing people who I am getting to know or who I now know really well. My
Mm,
favorite thing is to see those people win.
mm,
You know what I mean?
I
Like,
agree. I'm
so when
right
I
there
get
with
when I get a chance to go ahead and see you win, I feel like I won. You know what I
you.
mean? Like
Yeah.
genuinely, like I feel that way, and all of our friends
Mm-hmm.
that because we have a lot of great
We have a
friends
lot of
together in
common.
this community.
Yeah.
Um, and when I see them do something great, I feel like I won with them, even
Yeah.
though I'm
And
not
I,
having to, and it's not and I'm not trying to go ahead and like ride their coattails. It's just like I'm so happy for my friends,
course.
you
And I
know?
feel like that's an awesome part about the community. Like that's what it's like. It's not just you or I. It's like any of the friends doing whatever they're doing, but like succeeding with it and making, progress or steps or reaching goals that they had.
Mhm.
It's so awesome to see. And so it's like
Yes.
I'm very, very fortunate for that. So it's nice that you touched in on that as well.
No,
So
it's my pleasure.
and
So,
thank you so much for having me too. I appreciate it.
oh,
I'm glad we can catch up. Always.
you always have a seat at the table. You always have a seat at the table. Um, whenever you want to, you are always welcome onto this podcast, and that will never cease to exist.
Appreciate
Um, you are a gem, and you are really, really great at what you do. But you are an awesome person, and I'm honored to call you a friend. And I hope that you and your family have the loveliest of holidays
it.
as we get towards the end of the year and everything like that. And I do hope that you can make time to try and get out to Phoenix
I'm
for
gonna try.
we got some cook and we got some fun stuff cooking up. We'll be talking about it more on the Nights of the Photography Roundtable. Shout out to Cody and the crew.
Okay.
Um,
Love
hey,
it.
and so hopefully you get a chance to go ahead and come out. If you can't, I totally understand. But putting it
Okay.
out there for you and
I'll see
whatnot.
what strings I can pull. We'll see.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
if
That's
you need a
awesome.
card, like you know everybody here, they'll give you one. They all like you. You know what I'm saying? Like
We'll
everybody
see.
likes you. They'll give you a car. That's not a problem.
We'll see. We'll
Um,
see. We'll see how the start of the new year and after the holidays and everything kind of goes. So
that's
yeah.
that's
But
totally
also
fair.
happy holidays to you, and I
Thank
hope
you.
you and the family have a good holiday. So
That is the plan. Having it as we prep for Christmas and all that good stuff. But for anybody that's living under a rock and you're not following Colby, please do so. You can find her at the Kolbe, Kolbae. You know how to spell the. If you don't, go back to school. No Show Film has been a little bit inactive, but if we can go ahead and get that picking back up, and people
working
that
on it.
doesn't go back, follow it if you're not, because it's got wonderful, awesome film photography that Colby has been able to go ahead and put out for over the last couple of years and whatnot. So please go ahead and be on the lookout for No Shoot always and whatnot. And then subscribe to Colby's YouTube channel at Colby Collette.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Sweet. Thank you. Appreciate
So please, yeah, it's go see her driving an SL63 versus a G63, which is a very funny video.
that.
Yeah, the seatbelt's literally almost choking her out. It's very
Yeah.
funny.
Whoever's into it,
You know what I'm saying? And then yeah, there's a ton of other videos. Well, not a ton, but there's a few on there that are really good. And hopefully
Yeah.
2026 will go ahead and present itself to go ahead and allow you to have more fun with the YouTube channel and whatnot. So anything else that I'm missing? Did we get
think
everything?
I think we hit everything on the head with
Did
that.
we nail
Yeah,
it? All right,
I
we
think
nailed
so.
it.
I think
All
we did
right.
nail it. Like every
Well,
time.
we as per usual, we do
Yeah,
have
for usual.
and this time we didn't have any crazy internet issues like we
I
do when Colby was
know.
at her parents' house. Yay.
Yay.
What a W. That means less editing for you,
Right.
boy. Um, well, for anybody who's watching, please go ahead and if you want to give us a follow, you can find us on let's try that again. If you want to follow us on Instagram, I say that afterwards. I don't have that much editing to do, and I just went ahead and completely flubbed my lines.
Okay.
Follow us on Instagram at Tormenting Tarmac. Please subscribe to this podcast, whether it's on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify, Tormenting Tarmac, and then you can go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel, which I believe, if it's okay with Colby, we'll go ahead and have this video up on YouTube as well. And that
Yes.
is Tormenting Tarmac, of course, and whatnot. So that's it. That's all I got for everybody watching and listening. We appreciate you. We continuously hope that your holiday season is awesome. We recognize that it's very, very wild out there with a ton of traffic wherever you are throughout the city, throughout the country, throughout any of the states that you're in. Stay calm, stay cool, stay collected. Listen to this podcast to keep you calm while you go ahead and get to do your Christmas shopping or your holiday shopping, excuse me, and whatnot. And just enjoy life, experience it, live it, don't go ahead and be so focused in trying to go ahead and see it through a lens. See it through your own man-made lenses that God put in your head. Right, Colbs?
Amen. Amen to that.
Amen. That's Kolbi Napier, and my name is Jorge Aquino. This is Tormenting Tarmac. It's the podcast where the enthusiast never dies. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.